Yo, so this is my first video on the series talking about Andreas lafrazia 2 Point Dumb and basically clowning on him and exposing him and stuff like that. So I'm gonna react to his video talking about Jake Paul vs Tommy Fury. It's basically him reacting to the Tommy Fury interview, where he was talking about Jake Paul vs Tyron Woodley 2. So I'm gonna react to that video right now. So yeah, we're gonna react to it and disprove him, and hopefully he sees this, because I want to see this. And he even made a comment on one of my videos talking about him saying, "Oh, if you're the man, debate me," and stuff like that. It's like, I want to debate you, but not right now. Main reason is because I'm not big enough, and I want to debate you where it's like we're both like big. Like I got like 1,000 subscribers, you got like 2,000 or maybe even 1,000 as well. I want to be on your level. I want to have the exact same subscribers as you, so we can both come face to face on Discord or wherever and debate each other. Where we both have audiences, we both have fans, and I want, yeah. If you get what I mean, I'm saying like I want to be as big as you. I want to be on the same level as you in terms of subs and clout. So then, when we debate, we both have like fan bases who support us and want to see us win. So we come face to face on the debate. So once I got like what 1,000, then, or maybe even 200 subscribers or 300 subscribers. So you got like what 400 subscribers. I got like a 15 subs. So that's really small. So I want to be on your level. Just until I'm on your level, then we can debate, because I want to have an audience where they're gonna come to the debate, watch it live, or not, maybe not watch the debate live, but see. I want us to post like a, how do I say, it's like post like a video of us debating, like a YouTube video. And yeah, it could be like a YouTube video of our debate highlights and stuff like that, and the fans will react to it and see who won and stuff like that. But you know, let's just stop wasting time. Let's just get into the video, because we're like 2 minutes in and we've not reacted to your video yet. So let's stop wasting time.
If he fought Tommy Fury, because you'd be like, oh well, Tommy wasn't at his best. You know, he had a broken rib and a bacterial infection. Like, and I don't know why Jake would have wanted that, because it would have been a discredit, and it would have been a worthy discredit, because Jake probably would have hit him once, he would have gone down, and the fight would have been over, and we would have gotten a completely warped perception of Jake Paul that wasn't reality. Tommy Fury pulling out of this fight was so that he could save his life. Tommy Fury could have died maybe if he fought Jake Paul, and the fact that all of y'all aren't believing that, it's just he gave visible, credible proof of his infections and his rib. And it disgusts me, the people that question it or that, aren't backing him. Like, I'm backing Tommy. He should get another rematch. Jake, if he doesn't take it, is the coward and the runner like y'all.
So his first point, talking about Tommy Fury pulling out of the fight between Jake Paul and versus Tommy Fury, he talks about it saying, "Oh, if Jake Paul doesn't accept the rematch, he's a coward." And it's like, think about it. Tommy Fury pulled out of the fight. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, but he had a rib infection," and all that stuff. He pulled out of the fight. Yeah, he was about to earn millions of dollars or pounds, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it. If you're from the US, UK, whatever, he was gonna earn like plenty of money for that fight. Like, it was gonna be like the biggest payday he's ever had in his whole boxing career, and he pulled out. And I know the rib infection, don't mention it just yet, but I need to make this point. He pulled out where he was about to make millions of pounds or dollars, whatever, and it's like, and Jake just fought Tyron Woodley, and it's like, why would Jake want to give Tommy Fury that chance when it's like you backed out from $1 million? I know he has a rib infection. Stop trying to bring that up. Let's just forget that never happened and just pulled out for no reason. He pulled out, and he was about to earn millions of pounds or dollars. And it's like, if I'm Jake, I'm gonna be like, well, why should I give you that second chance when you pulled out? You're about to earn millions of pounds. Why should I give you another set of millions of pounds just to fight me? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you've already had your opportunity. You backed out, and it's like, I'm essentially wasting my money on you. Like, it's literally Jake wasting his own money on Tommy Fury just for them to fight. It's, yeah, I'm just saying, well, it's hard to explain, but like It's like, why would Jake Paul want to give Tommy Fury that second chance when Tommy Fury pulled out of a fight where he was about to earn millions of dollars? It was going to be his biggest payday, and he pulled out. And it's like, if I'm Jake, I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to be like, no, I don't want to rematch you. I'm going to have like fucking anxiety or like fucking trauma or whatever that he might pull out again, like, and pull out again, and I'm essentially wasting my money for nothing, wasting my own money, paying you millions of dollars when you're just gonna back out like last minute. Like, I hope that made sense. I really hope that made sense. But it's like, if I'm Jake, I'm not gonna want to give him that second chance when he literally backed out from $1 million paycheck. I know he had a rib infection, but listen, he literally backed out of $1 million paycheck. And if I'm Jake, I'm gonna be like, no, you already had your chance. You fucked up. Why should I waste my money on you when you might even back out again for some other dumb reason or whatever? Like, it's like, why should Jake give him that second chance? And I know he had a room infection. Bless him. Obviously, get better and stuff like that. But if I'm Jake, I'm not even gonna care if he had a room infection. I'm just gonna be frustrated that he pulled out, and I'm just and yeah. So I don't know why your point, like, you're saying that Jake Paul's like the Duck, and it's like you're saying Jake Paul ducks Tommy Fury. It's funny how you say that, but you don't keep the same energy for KSI. Like, KSI, literally, like, it's a known fact that KSI ducked Tyron Woodley. It is a proven fact that KSI ducked Tyron Woodley, and that just shows that you're a hypocrite and you don't keep the same energy for KSI and Deji, because they, quite frankly, ducked. Well, I'm just talking about KSI, but he quite frankly ducked Tyron Woodley, Andrew Tate, and he might even duck Dylan Dennis. Now, yeah, like, it's true. Like, Tyron Woodley literally pulled up on like the fight, like pulled up at the event of Deji versus Floyd Mayweather, confronted KSI, and KSI was chatting shit and just like being a little bit of a pussy and not really saying anything and just like walking away from the situation. And yeah, like, KSI should have fought Tyron Woodley. That should have been the fight that should have happened back in August. Literally, that should have been the fight that should have happened back in August. Yeah, that should have been the fight that should have happened back in August. Not Swarms and Pineda. That should have been the fight, because I feel like that fight would have been more interesting than Swarms and Pineda, because he's fighting someone who's actually going to be a challenge to him, and he could potentially lose that fight. That fight would have been a risk to his career. But obviously, KSI's not going to take that risk, because he knows if he takes that risk and loses, he's going to make him look like an idiot, and he's going to make him look like a clown, and his fans and all his NPC fan base and all that stuff are not going to respect him anymore. His career is pretty much over, because you all know KSI can't lose. Like, he has this whole documentary and this whole, he has this whole, like, how do I say, this whole, like, what's the word again? Fuck. He has this whole, like, story where it's like he can't lose. Like, he made a documentary saying, I can't lose. And it's like, if he loses to, like, these, like, if he was to ever lose a fight, it would be over for him, because it's like, you've talked so much shit saying you're the best boxer and you're the king of YouTube boxing, and you can't lose, and it's like you were saying, oh, it's not over yet, and all this stuff. I was like, it's gonna make you look like an idiot if you lost to like someone who's not even that good of a boxer. Like, if you lost to Tyron Woodley or anyone, just anyone who box, you lose to them, it's gonna make you look like a fool. And KSI is not going to want to take that risk. He's going to continue to fight these journeymen, and at least with Jake Paul, he started off fighting journeymen, but then he slowly, like, leveled up to his opponent. He fought Deji, and then he leveled up to Gib, even though I'd say at the time Gib was probably worse than Deji. And then he leveled up to Nate Robinson, who was supposed to be this athlete, but looks like that didn't really mean shit because he got knocked out. Then he leveled up to Ben Askren, who's a UFC fighter and who was quite frankly the worst striker ever. Then he moved up to Tyron Woodley, who before Anderson Silva was his toughest challenge yet. And then obviously he fought Anderson Silva and beat him, which was just impressive. And you have to give him credit. Like, he's leveled up. Like, I'd say Jake Paul has had more competition this past year than Tommy Fury. That's just facts. Like, go watch both of their fights. See who's had tougher competition. I'm just saying. Literally. 9 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna continue.
Boxer. But again, if he wants to be a legit boxer and he wants that legitimacy that we know he craves, he's got to fight a real boxer. He's got to fight somebody that can actually match him in experience. Because yes, I'm not discrediting him being Tywin or saying it was staged or whatever. He definitely found somebody that was not above his level or not below his level. Tywin put on a good fight. Jake got the knockout. There's a lot of credit due there, and I think that Jake proved a lot of people wrong and definitely cemented himself in a big way. But when you think about it, like, he's only fought in his pro career. He's really only fought one person that's had more experience, and that was Gibb. And Gibb might as well have never fought before, because so many people thought Gibb had never boxed before because he was so bad. So, Nate, Tyron, Ben never boxed before, strictly in boxing.
It's funny how you say this, yeah, when it's like Joe Weller never boxed before. KSI fought Joe Weller, he never boxed before. Logan Paul never boxed before. He only started boxing like 6 months after KSI started boxing. And then fucking Swarms never boxed before. He only started boxing like a couple months ago. And KSI beat him easily. And then Luis Pineda never boxed before. It's fun. Well, okay, he has boxed before, but he was just not good. Obviously, Luis Pineda has boxed before, but the reality is he was just there to take a dive. Well, not take a dive, but he was just there to just do nothing. He was just a trash can, and I called it right before the fight. I knew he was going to be a trash can to KSI. I just knew it in the back of my head. I was like, this guy's going to get destroyed. Yeah, literally, like, yes, Luis Pineda yes, he's boxed before, but he's only, like, it's just like, it's hard to explain because I don't know, like, maybe I should do my research, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's just move on. So yeah, you're saying that that, but Joe Weller never boxed before. Logan Paul never boxed before. He only boxed like 6 months after KSI started boxing, and then fucking Swarms never boxed before. I'm gonna leave Luis Pineda out because he has boxed before, but he still was a trash can and he still is a bum. But Joe Weller, Logan Paul, and Swarms at the time never boxed before, and KSI had an advantage over them. And so KSI never fought someone at his level. He never. He never fought someone at his level. So it's funny how you don't keep the same energy with KSI, but you always want to go at Jake for fighting people who've never boxed before. And it's like, you're saying Tommy Fury would beat Jake Paul because he's a boxer and he's boxed people that are like boxers. But like, think about it. Those boxers have got 0 wins, 100 losses. At least with Jake Paul, he's fought people who have only just started and are sort of learning it. And it's like, Tommy Fury's fought 4 people who have boxed before, but they have 0 wins and like 100 losses, which is just embarrassing. And then he fought Anthony Taylor. It's crazy how he fought Anthony Taylor, who's 5'5", 150 pounds, and is a Bellator fighter, and he couldn't knock him out. He couldn't even do any sort of damage to Anthony Taylor when he had the height, reach, weight, everything on Anthony Taylor, and he couldn't knock him out, which is just embarrassing for Tommy Fury. They couldn't even knock out that guy, and people gave him so much props for that fight, which is just embarrassing. And then they gave him props for being that tall ass, like that long neck guy. And it's like, yes, he's got a 10-1 record, but the guy with the 10-1 record fought bums as well. So you can't give him too much credit for those wins. Like, you can't. It's funny how Tommy Fury got more credit for being Anthony Taylor than Jake got for being Addison Silva and Tyron Woodley. Like, that's crazy. It's actually insane. Literally. Like, it's funny. It's actually funny.
For like a continuous number of years in that boxing fights. Yes, they were killers in the cage, but I think we've learned that MMA fighters do not transition well into boxing, and that just because they were good in the octagon, they're not going to be good in other places. And so many things like Tyron Woodley's a grappler. A lot of the reason why he would win is because of stuff you can do in MMA. That's just something I love to see.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. It was because I know if
each other. Yeah. So for me, basically, he's talking about the commentators that it was hard to watch, and they were joking about who won and all that stuff, and how essentially, it was a pretty boring fight. And I think Tommy would win by decision, by points, but I feel like it would have been a more interesting fight. Mainly that's because Jake would just be getting outpointed and jabbed a lot. But yeah.
I know what, we're going to go into another video because this one's kind of boring and it's just him reacting to Tommy Fury's interview. So we're going to try and find a video where he's talking about, like, just talking, not, like, reacting and stuff like that, because he doesn't really say much in this video. He just says some stuff that can be disproven, but he's not much. Like, we're going to move on to a different video. Yeah, let's just do that quickly. Let's go on to Tyron Woodley.
Motions Instagram claimed that his fight with Askren did 1.6. Now let's say that's true. That would still be an L because he still felt the money that was satisfactory at all. And I think that's because people are finally starting to understand. Really interested in Jake fighting Tommy, and they were, but it was just kind of like, this is kind of the new normal. And I think that's because YouTube boxing should be a special thing that should come and go, and not something that's consistent. And that's really bad for them from a business perspective.
Okay, so he's just rambling. I just want to
sales. Their fights need to be more interesting. They just need to go for it more, and they're not going for it. And it's like, and they need to fight opponents that make sense.
It's funny how you say that, yeah. But Tommy Fury, he's fought guys who aren't on his level. They had probably, like, I don't know, one win, but like 2,000 losses. That's crazy. One win, 2,000 losses, and he's fighting those guys. And it's like, you're saying that Jake should fight someone who's on his level so the fight's interesting, but who has Tommy fought that can make the fight interesting and is on his level? He's never fought someone on his level. He's always fought bums. He's always fought someone who's going to be at a disadvantage to him. So it's just a bit hypocritical that you're saying that, but you don't say that with Tommy Fury, but you like to say it with Jake Paul, which proves that you're a hypocrite and you're biased and all that stuff. Like, yeah.
Interested. Like KSI versus Logan Paul, those fights, the YouTube versus TikTok, people were more interested in that because those fights made sense, or they were two people that were new to boxing, or it was something that you could get interested in from a storyline perspective, but also from a KSI and Logan, and it's just not the same. It's not peak YouTube boxing. The only fight that people want to see from YouTube boxing from Jake and Logan, like, no one cares about what Logan does anymore. And if anything, I think Logan should go back to creating content. People want to see KSI versus Jake Paul. And once that happens, people are moving on. YouTube boxing is a trend. It's not like this mainstream thing. It was more interesting and more entertaining. People were coming for entertainment. Keyword, entertainment. And we're not getting entertainment. We're getting basically a Floyd Mayweather fight, but if he was technically terrible. Like, why KSI versus Logan Paul in those early fights worked is because there was a storyline and it made sense, real beef. And they used their platforms to their advantage to incentivize the fight. Every week a new video came out, diss tracks, calling each other out for stuff they said at the press conference that built up the hype. They used their platforms to their advantage, and that's been something that's gone away since the Showtime era of YouTube boxing. And that should be brought back because it gets the fans invested. It gives people like me stuff to talk about. Like when Logan put out a video boxing the Gronks, Wade Concept posted a video on it. It made interest go up for the Floyd fight. Created conversations every week, and they need to bring that back because at the end of the day, these marketing companies don't get how these social media events work, and the ones that do are the content creators. KSI is more of a global pay-per-view star than Jake Paul is because he sold 1.3 million for his first fight, sold out Manchester Arena, almost sold out Staples Center, and did probably 1.45 for his second fight. So he's made more money, probably. I don't know if he's made more money, but KSI...
Alright, let's move on to a different video now.
Looked worse here than in the first fight. And I very much doing a jab, and Woodley...
It's funny how you say all of this, like Jake Paul's this bad boxer because he just looked bad, but it's like Tommy Fury for fucking Anthony Taylor didn't even look that good. And he had an advantage against Anthony Taylor. He was bigger, taller, and weighed more. And it's like, you don't keep the same energy for the guys that you do like, but you'd like to always criticize the guys you don't like. Like, KSI, Tommy Fury, they both fought, and they don't even look that good. And you don't criticize them for that, but you always criticize Jake for that. Tommy Fury, go watch his fight with the tall guy, the one with the long neck. I watched that fight, and I did see some flaws in Tommy Fury's style. He kind of left himself open a little bit for counters. He would always like throw punches, always like come a bit too much into it. Like he'd always like come forward for a jab, but then leave like his like downer body like open, like leaves his downer body open, which means he's vulnerable for like a body shot or something like that, or maybe even an overhand right, or maybe. But I feel like people don't keep the same energy for Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury has shown that he does have good head movement, good decent footwork, but he does tend to leave himself open, just like Jake, a lot in his fights. We saw it with Anthony Taylor. We saw it with and Anthony Taylor. Isn't it crazy how Anthony Taylor landed more overhand rights than the Roddy Lambert guy and the tall guy with the long neck? That's crazy. Because at the time, Anthony Taylor was like a bum at the time. I'd say he's decent now, but at the time he was a bum. And Tommy Fury should have easily destroyed him. Yet he couldn't. And Anthony Taylor was landing some bombs on Tommy Fury. Low key, landing some bombs on Tommy Fury. And Tommy Fury couldn't even knock him out, couldn't even put blood on his face. Well, he did put blood on his face, but he just didn't do anything to like hurt, like completely like give this guy like fucking trauma or whatever. Like he didn't do anything crazy to this guy, Anthony Taylor, at the time. And you don't criticize him for that. I mean, just go, like, I'm gonna even show you. Oh, I can't. I don't want to get copyright again. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I might just have to leave out. Let's go watch the guy with the tall guy. Let's go watch that guy. Or actually, guys, you know what? I might just have to cut this video because it's 21 minutes. I've never made a video this long before. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna make another video, part 2. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.